thank you for tuning in to our 6th or 7th or even 8th episode of What the Hell Are You Talking About? This week is the week of, was it May 12th? May 11th? May 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to discuss, NBA playoffs, free agency. We got some things about Matt Patricia I'd like to discuss. I don't think it's fair. And also, we would like to get into a little bit of baseball. Without further ado, see, I was gonna fucking introduce you. Now I was like, okay, sorry. Without further ado, here you go. Here's Lemar. I'm LJ. All right.
I thought I was LJ. So now, all right, we're gonna start with Dwayne Casey getting fired. I don't necessarily agree with him getting fired. They got 2 star players who never show up in the playoffs. So it's like, what are you gonna do? You gotta blame the coach because you don't have the right superstars, or you gonna? I mean, they won 59 games this year, and this is the best year they ever had in the franchise. He may even win Coach of the Year. They're talking about him winning. I know he was voted as the coaches by the other coaches, Coach of the Year, and they fire him, and then I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Dwayne Casey got a raw deal here. I don't know what outcome they were actually expecting. They're not going to beat LeBron James. They don't have a talent. They really didn't stand a chance. So if you won one game, you would let them stay.
I know.
I don't understand. Them firing coaches who win a bunch of games in cities that don't really get a lot of good free agents and should not win as many games as they did. So that's the reason why they're a shitty organization that just keeps winning. I don't know why every few years they just start winning, and it doesn't matter who leaves. And they have Vince Carter, and they go to the playoffs every year. Then he leaves. They suck for like a good 2 years, where they get they make a bad draft pick with Bargnani, and they're back in the playoffs with Chris Bosh. And then they lose Chris Bosh. They suck for a little bit. They get a good coach. They get Kyle Lowry in the free agency, DeMar DeRozan, and all of a sudden they get a pretty decent. They had Sam Mitchell before, and they make the playoffs with Sam Mitchell. Now they got Dwayne Casey. Well, they had Dwayne Casey past 5 years, and they made the playoffs, and they've done really well. Except you lost to LeBron James. There's no shame in losing.
Like everybody else. There's
no shame in losing to him. I don't understand that these organizations are just so quick to pull the trigger on coaches. Speaking as a Knicks fan, where we've pulled the trigger on coaches who've only been for 2 seasons, or in Larry Brown's case, the season. Was it even half a season?
That we had Larry Brown?
Yeah.
Oh no, we had a full whole season. And then, he pulled the Larry Brown after that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Dwayne Casey's a really good coach, and he should get another job fast. But I don't get it. Like, he did what he's supposed to do. His best player was he had ended up benching DeMar DeRozan for game 3, I believe it was, because he wasn't playing well. He benched him in the 4th quarter. They was playing well. He put him back in and didn't play so well. So it's like he had to do something. He did what he's supposed to do. As a team, first of all, like you said, they lost to LeBron. They got swept. But it's like, what else? I mean, if he had lost to anybody else, now, if they want to argue about him letting Washington take him to 7, I guess that could be a good argument against him, because they should have probably beat Washington in 5 or 6. They definitely should have won 7. They're number 1 seed. Washington was the 8th seed, so they should have at least it shouldn't have won 7. But
yeah, I agree. They shouldn't have won 7 games with Washington. I wouldn't fire him from that. I mean, you got John Wall on that team, and
Bradley Beal's pretty
Bradley
good.
Bill's pretty good. You know, so but see, with that Washington team, I was just thinking about this. What if they traded Bradley Beal for C.J. McCollum? You think it'd be better?
No, it'll be about the same. I think they're about the same level of player. I think McCollum might be a little better. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen him enough. But they're about the same player. Like I'd be happy having either one of them on my team. They're both good shooting guards.
All right, so Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard on the same team. You wouldn't think that's amazing?
I think it would be about the same also both ways. I think it would be the same. Like I think they're similar in that sense. They're both really good shooting guards, not Hall of Fame level, but both really good shooting guards. And you know, I don't.
And plus, Bradley Beal doesn't really get along with John Wall.
Yeah, yeah. There's that. But I think that's over. I think they get along well now. I think that was like a couple of years ago. And I think they squashed.
I think that was this year. And when John Wall came back. Actually, when John Wall was out, he's like, "Oh, we're moving the ball better. Everything's moving a lot smoother."
I remember Gortat saying something about. I remember Gortat and John Wall having problems.
Okay, that was.
I think it was Gortat. Gortat and John Wall started going back at him. So it's like, but I know, yeah. Bradley Beal, he said. He was like, yeah, we need him back. You know what I mean? We can't wait to get him back. So he said all the right things. Whether he meant it or not is a whole other story. But yeah, I think Gortat was the one that had more of an issue. But back to the playoff thing. Cleveland, Boston. Who you got?
Baltimore.
I was about to say
the Baltimore Bullets. Cleveland, Baltimore. Cleveland, Boston. Cleveland better win in 5. 6 will be fine. 7 is unacceptable. not for the type of player that LeBron James is. And oh yeah, for Lakers fans.
Stupid.
As an inside joke.
Hey, we could get back into that. I wouldn't even care. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm gonna say Cleveland in 5, but I don't think it would be crazy for it to go 7 because. I think Cleveland's more of the team that they were in the first round than they were in the second round. I think Toronto is a team that is the Cleveland's in their head, so they just can't overcome Cleveland. And plus, like I said, their star players don't play well in the playoffs anyway. They never have. But I think Cleveland, if they're playing against a really tough team like Boston, like if they played Boston in that first round the way they played against Indiana, they'd be gone.
They'd be gone. Number 1, number 2. That would kind of give the LeBron haters so much ammunition. Like that would just make their day. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not a LeBron lover. I see like the greatness in him. So like he's great. I'm not gonna hate on the guy for what? There's no reason for me to hate him. I hated him that first season he didn't come to the Knicks, but that's about it. After he lost to Dallas, I said okay. It's over.
It made you feel better, and you was past it.
Yeah, I got past it. Plus, I booed him when he won that first champ. Actually, no, I didn't boo him. I booed Pat Riley. I was in Miami during the Heat parade when he won his championship. He looked so happy. Like I've never seen a grown man that happy before. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't like where this was going. I'm like,
let's move on. Philly. We can talk about Philly.
Yeah, they played like a team that ain't never been there because they played well for 46 minutes of every game, and then the last 2 minutes they just played like a rookie team. Like they just played like a team that hasn't been there, especially Ben Simmons. Matter of fact, they said Ben Simmons. Like I don't know how that plus minus thing goes, but they said they were better when him on the bench than on the floor throughout the series.
Well, that's a Brett Brown problem. Is that the coach Brett Brown?
Brett Brown.
That's a Brett Brown problem. You're gonna need to connect with your point guard. He's your point guard. You gotta connect with him and make him a better point guard. Don't put this. Oh, we might put you as small forward. If this guy's in the line, we might put you here. Okay, that's great, but you have to make him a better point guard
Right,
now.
establish his original spot first. Right. All right. So yeah. Rookies, they're gonna have those type of games. So, whatever. I'm not tripping over it. He played like a rookie. He had that one game where he had the ball, there was under 24 seconds left in the game. They were winning. They shot it and missed. All they had to do was run the clock out when they got the offensive rebound. He got the offensive rebound and put up a quick shot, and all they had to do was run the clock out. And that was a big mistake. And, he'll learn from that. And as a team, they'll learn. They'll realize what opportunity they had. And they'll be better for it. That's what I think.
Well, I think that, I already told you what I think about Ben Simmons. But, with Joel Embiid, they could get him involved in the game a little bit more. It's offensively, just because he's a big man and it's a little guy's league doesn't mean you have to forget about the big man all of a sudden. Because you saw Anthony Davis did the playoffs.
But the problem with Embiid was Al Horford was just shutting him down. It wasn't even like they were it's not that they didn't want to give him the ball. Al Horford was just shutting him down. He didn't shut him down, but he made him struggle. He made him struggle. He made it hard for him to catch the ball. He made it hard for him to get good position. He just defended him. On top of that, he was scoring on him. So Brad Stevens is just, he's going to put his players in the best position. And that was that was kind of, some people saying Brett Brown got out-coached. Not really. Maybe his team got out-coached. But he didn't head-to-head got out-coached. It's just that Brad Stevens been in the playoffs. He's been deep in the playoffs. His team, he's got some veterans on that team. He got a lot of young players, too. But he got some veterans on that team. And they just, and Brad Stevens is, outside of Popovich, best coach in the league. So, he just knew how to defend a young rookie team. Made them say, all right, Ben Simmons not going to undo what he do, against everybody else. He just made it difficult for a bunch of young players. So.
Yeah, I agree. You want to go on to Houston and
Houston, Golden State.
But before we get to Houston, Golden State, I want to actually say that Anthony Davis, he played his ass off in this series. He played like Hakeem Olajuwon type of ball.
Yeah, he was balling.
Where he was at 40 and 20 and doing it, and it's not his fault.
No.
That he lost. He needs someone around him. I would love to have Anthony Davis as my center.
Oh, that would be who wouldn't?
But we'll have the same problem that they have now in New Orleans, where we have a guy. But
maybe not. I think that would be a better. To be honest, I think that would be a better fit with Porzingis, but
because Porzingis doesn't really go in. He's not gonna go inside now, especially after he messed up his ACL. But
Anthony Davis definitely did.
It'll take the pressure off of him. Major.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard nowadays. Back in the day, everybody had one great player and a bunch of role players. Now you can't get away with that, really. You can't. You're not gonna get that far with just one great player and a bunch of role players. You got to have at least two great players, and you need three if you're gonna win the championship.
you need some specialists on the team too. You need a guy who plays defense.
Right.
You need a guy who just shoots threes.
Right.
You need a guy who's gonna be, that junkyard dog, just get on, just does a little bit of everything.
There's no more of that. How back in the 90s, everybody just had one great player. Some people had two good players, like Utah had Stockton and Malone, Seattle had Peyton and Kemp. But most people had one dominant player, and then some good role players to follow. But the Knicks had Patrick Ewing, Bulls had Jordan. They had Pippen, but they had Jordan. You know what I mean?
The Knicks didn't have any superstar to put with Pat at the time. And we still haven't, gotten a superstar. When we had Bernard King and we had Patrick Ewing, they didn't play together.
Yeah, it just didn't. The timing was off. You gonna say something else?
We were talking about Houston,
Golden State.
Yeah, Houston.
All right, so Chris Paul finally made it out of the conference finals. Made it to the conference finals out of the second round. I never put him in that category with the like how they talk about James Harden. I mean, even though James Harden got far, they make him look. You know, he don't play well in the playoffs. D'Antoni isn't good when he's playing up against another elite coach. He's just not. He just doesn't situationally coach his team the right way. Chris Paul never made it that far in the playoffs, but I never blamed him for that. Like, I mean, at some point he's got to take some ownership for it, I suppose. But I never put him in that category of guys that can't get it done.
He's never taken ownership of that. Chris Paul's a top 10 point guard of all time. I think we should name our top 10 point guards of all time.
Well, okay.
This is a new feature.
Yeah, well, I've never did this before.
I've never did this before.
Off the top of my head. You want to go first?
Okay, on the top of my head, you got Magic, you got Stockton, you got the Big O, Oscar Robinson. You guys had Thomas. You would have Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Kevin Johnson, Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, and for that 10 spot, I would have to either go with Tim Hardaway, Sr., or Steve Nash. Steve Nash is more accomplished when it comes to individual awards with those MVPs, but to be perfectly honest with you, he wasn't the best player in the league at that point. He earned the award.
He was never the best player in the league. Let's be clear. He was never the best player. He had the best season, and even some people debate that. But he had the best season twice. But he was never the best player. Like, James Harden's not the best player, but he's gonna win MVP this year. So you know,
he's about the best offensive player I've ever seen.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, we had that conversation before.
And on this podcast?
Yeah, on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's not rehash.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would, because we were talking about before about, because he was asking where would we put Steve Nash on that list. I was like, I could think of at least 7. So he got him at 10. See, I probably got him at like around 8.
What's your top 10?
I would say Magic, Isaiah. And it's not in the exact order, but Magic, Isaiah, Stockton, Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Gary Payton, Jason Kidd.
We're forgetting one player, but go ahead.
So he said Oscar Robertson. I'm only picking the players that I saw play.
No, we're forgetting one player that we see.
Okay, who's that?
Russell Westbrook.
I'm not putting him over any of those guys.
No. I'm not any of those guys. But would you take him over Steve Nash?
No, I won't take him over Steve Nash. I think Steve Nash is a better leader, and now you can say Westbrook is a better defender, but
he's a better defender.
But how many players were better defenders than Magic Johnson? You know what I mean? Magic Johnson's number 1. So you know what I mean? But So yeah, I mean, you can say it. You can say like some say Magic Johnson might be one of the worst defenders on that list. You know what I mean? But he's number 1, and rightfully so. But I'm taking Steve Nash because I think Steve Nash is just a better leader and a more efficient player, smarter player, light years smarter than Westbrook. like everybody on that list is way smarter than Westbrook. Like he's more athletic than everybody on that list, and he can do a lot of things. But I'm just not that. So I don't want to keep looking at we're bashing Westbrook every week because I know we talk about this a lot. But you know, I mean, would I not want him on my team? I wouldn't say I don't want him on my team.
I don't want him on my team. I say that right now.
But I would. There's players I definitely would rather have than Russell Westbrook. But I'll put him in the top. Maybe he's in the top 15. Maybe he's in somewhere 10 through 15. But
and the dude averaged triple-double 2 years in a row. So that's how much that triple-double means to anybody who really watches basketball.
Right.
That triple-double doesn't mean shit to anybody who really watches basketball because he doesn't make anybody better.
Right. When I was young, I used to think triple-double was amazing. When I was like like a teenager, I used to think it was something, but
I remember when we had this discussion years ago. What if a player actually did that? That's never going to happen again.
Right. We should have did. That wasn't that long ago we talked about that.
Yeah, we said, oh, no one's ever going to average triple-double. That's just not going to happen. This guy does it twice in a row. Yeah. He's not even on top 10 point guard.
Right. I'm just not impressed.
We're not impressed by it.
Yeah, I'm just not overly impressed by Westbrook. So who you think is going to win the Golden State, Houston, and how many games?
I would love for Houston to win that series, and I love them to sweep Golden State. That'd be awesome if they did that.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome because like KD would just he wouldn't know what to do. He'd just be looking around.
He was like, should I leave? Like, should I go to another team?
If they get swept by Houston, we should put in a bid for KD.
well, he signed an extension with them. I don't remember how many years, but I know he signed an extension with them. So he's not a free agent. I
heard he is actually. That's what I actually heard.
Really? I don't know. You know what we didn't talk about before? We were supposed to talk about the Barkley and Shaq getting into it. I guess it's irrelevant now because the coach got fired because Dwayne Casey got fired. But like Barkley and Shaq be going at it so hard, and it's not even Barkley, it's mostly Shaq. I think Shaq will never get over the fact that Barkley slammed his ass during the game. And I think that'll always be a thing that he'll forever want to get Barkley back somehow. So and part of it's just two alpha dudes that just wanna that just go at each other. But like I said, it's usually Shaq that's starting the argument. Barkley will say his opinion that may be controversial to some, but Shaq will just take it so personal. Like I just think, like he was like, if y'all don't know the story, it was Barkley was saying that Dwayne Casey and DeMar DeRozan needs to repair their relationship after DeRozan got benched in that fourth quarter, and Shaq was like, no you don't. He was like, yes he does. That's your opinion, bro. He's like, no you don't. He's like, me and Pat Riley didn't get along. And we still awesome won a championship.
That's a great impression.
I'm not trying to be a good impression.
No, that's an awesome
which is funny.
Keep it going. Let's keep it going.
But Barkley was like, yeah, but you had Dwayne Wade and Kobe carrying you up and down the floor.
Oh,
you didn't hear that part.
He carried him up and down the floor.
That's what he said. He's like, yeah, Wade and Kobe. Wade and Kobe.
After he said that, Shaq wasn't hearing anything else he had to say. And I agree with Shaq on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say Kobe carried him up and down the floor. Those first three championships, it was Shaq's team.
It was Shaq's team, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but Shaq, he tends to think that, and I'm not sure if it's all athletes who are elite. They tend to think that, hey, if I have a ring, that means everything I say is correct.
Right.
No, that's not how life works.
By the way, I don't know if you brought it up first before Barkley said that, but of course he said, well, you haven't been on championships, so you don't know. So, and Shaq always loves to throw that in his face. He loves to throw that in Barkley's face. And Barkley was like, because I think he said that first, because Barkley was like, I'd have one too if I had Wade and Kobe carrying me up the floor.
Okay. So now there's context.
Right.
If Shaq threw it in his face first, so right. Barkley, okay,
right, had to have a comeback, right?
So and just because you win doesn't mean you're right in this context,
right?
You know, like, and plus,
not only that was that specific situation. Like, I can't see too many situations where the best player and the coach are going to get along, and that team's going to be as successful. Maybe you did it. You're an elite center, one of the greatest centers, and Pat Riley's one of the greatest coaches. So there are situations where it could work, but that's not going to work in most cases.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people tend to conflate. Shaq tends to conflate, saying, "Oh, it happened to me." It's like, you're not everybody.
Hold on, let me look up the word conflate.
It's what I'm saying. Like, you're not everybody. You can't just put your situation into this guy. Oh, you don't have to do that. Like, you're not everybody. Right. That's the thing. Like, you have to recognize that without saying it, right, that you are different type of entity. Period. Point blank. Right. What happened to you does not happen to everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Barkley doesn't make him wrong because he's not as good a basketball player as you are. Barkley is a great basketball player.
Right.
He was a great basketball player. He was never on those teams that could win championships like you did. And he ran into Michael Jordan in his prime. You ran into Michael Jordan.
When you ran into Michael Jordan, you couldn't beat him either. But you beat him when he first came back from from retirement. But after that, they swept y'all too.
after that, you were 23. Michael Jordan was like 33,
right.
And Michael Jordan swept you.
Yeah,
you know you got swept by Hakeem too. So don't give me that. Hey, I was on championship team. I was on like you needed one of the best players of all time, which is Kobe, to pretty much help
arguably the second best shooting guard. I mean, arguably the third best shooting guard in Wade.
yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, in a Hall of Fame coach, you got Hall of Famers all around you,
right?
But and then you want to shine a ring in Charles Barkley's place to play with no Hall of Famers,
right?
He didn't have a Hall of Fame coach. He had a Hall of Fame players,
right? He was the one. He was the only one.
You know what I'm saying? Like he got
now Phoenix. That Phoenix team was loaded, and I love that Phoenix. One of my favorite teams of all time. That Phoenix team.
Yeah, they had a lot of talent, but none of those guys are Hall of Famers,
right? And the coach, by the way, after that, we ain't ever heard from Paul Westphal again.
Well, Magic ran him out of the Lakers. He has that.
I think that was that Westphal or was West Head?
Was West Head?
That might have been West Head.
Okay. There you go.
but
the more you know.
But yeah, you just never heard that coach again. Like, yeah, I mean, Barkley. I mean, it's a shame that so many players got denied, and it's funny because somebody's making an argument about, well, who did LeBron deny? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I mean, he would have kept denying Golden State had they not stacked up and got Durant. Like, but I mean,
he denied them one championship. He denied. Okay, as far
when he said deny, I mean that they never won because of him. You know what I mean? That would have been Durant, by the way, if he didn't go and join another team that LeBron denied. and by the way, Golden State wouldn't have won that first one if Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving wasn't both hurt. So it was like it's a lot.
What you call LeBron denied us a championship, so there you go. But I joined that team.
That's the case. He denied a lot.
But I'm trying to think who for his first championship he beat who?
They beat OKC.
OKC.
Then they beat.
He denied James Harden.
Then they beat San Antonio.
San Antonio beat them too.
Right. So that's what they said. They didn't really deny anybody. He didn't really deny.
He didn't really hold back anybody from winning championships.
I mean, but to me, that's just another made up thing. Like, yeah, that's true. He did not do that. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, that's not a thing. That's not really a thing.
We know that's the bar that Michael Jordan set.
Right. See, right. That's anything Michael Jordan does. Like, if you didn't do what he did, if you didn't go 6 for 6, if you didn't deny people.
Well, he's the one who made those comparisons to Michael Jordan. No one was doing that.
Yeah, he said he's chasing them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but he should. But then instead of chasing Jordan, which makes people push back on you, you do what you are supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now since you made those comparisons to Michael Jordan, and like since he came into this league, he was 18 years old when he came into this league. So I'm not gonna hold that against you when you're 18 years old. You know, like, and you have all this. You know, you want to win these championships, but you could have actually, like, you know, calm down on that rhetoric. Like, just calm down on that because
I don't really have a problem with that.
But you know why? Because you're always going to be compared to Michael Jordan. You're never going to live up to him.
Well, see, me personally, I do get that aspect of it. But me personally, I'm like, all right, if you're in the conversation as one of the greatest players of all time, even if you never pass him, I think you already did your job. You know what I mean? Like, he probably will never pass him in most people's eyes. They were
already saying that, is he as good as Michael Jordan? He was doing that from his rookie season,
right,
before he had any accomplishments, which is what created haters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say this guy's better than Michael Jordan. He never did anything on the court yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now everything he does is going, like, you're not recognizing him.
Well, I didn't really hear the comparisons to Jordan until he started getting close until after he started sniffing winning a final, and he was struggling to get there. So I think that's when I recall hearing the Michael Jordan. So I didn't really hear that. I mean, I heard that they anointed him king and all of that when he was young, but I didn't really hear Michael Jordan comparisons yet. Like I thought, like he did embrace that because he did say I'm chasing that ghost or whatever, and I don't have a problem with that. But you should. I don't mind him taking on that challenge. I think that's a good thing. Now, I don't think he's gonna ever pass that. Now, I thought there was a really good chance. But personally, I don't think he's gonna win any more titles. That's the thing. I think he could if he won another title or two, and it depends on the circumstances of those titles also. But I thought the Golden State win was big. I think that went from here to like here. You know what I mean?
Not in my book. I always considered him better than Larry Bird. You know, in terms of small forwards
right.
in his position. Like I was already saying, he's better than Larry Bird. Like he's not a better shooter than Larry Bird, but he's a better player. Period.
He's just a better player. Right?
I'll put him in my starting lineup all time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like before it was Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Magic, and Kareem. Now it's LeBron. Mm-hmm. Not taking anything away from Larry Bird, but he just accomplished more than Larry Bird.
Right.
I would dare to say like he's like the second best I've ever seen in my life. I would take him over Shaq in his prime. I'd take him over over a 20-year-old Shaq. I'd take him over a 20-year-old Hakeem, and that's saying a lot for me. Mm-hmm. As far as him and Tim Duncan go, Tim Duncan has 5 championships, right? I'll take him over Tim Duncan, too. Yeah. Right? So it's like the only person I'm not taking him over. The only person I'm not taking him over is Michael Jordan. Mm. As far as like Magic, if there's a young Magic, then it would be like, but I gotta take LeBron.
Yeah, I think I would take like if I was starting a team and they were all rookies or whatever.
They're all younger.
I think I would take LeBron because I've seen him win no matter who his coach is, no matter who his teammates are. I've seen him get to the finals with a very weak Cleveland team his first time around. And I don't think Jordan. I think Jordan is capable of that, but I just never seen him do that. I've seen him struggle against Isaiah and Bird until they were out of their prime.
I've
seen LeBron beat Tim Duncan in his prime.
But that's the thing. With Michael Jordan, when he struggled against those championship teams, like those 86 Pistons, 86 Celtics are one of the best teams ever.
Yeah,
like ever. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could LeBron beat those? No,
I don't know. No, I don't know.
No, I know
LeBron's bigger, stronger, and faster than Michael Jordan was. Remember when Jordan was smaller when he was dealing with them? He had to get stronger.
No, but I'm not talking about the Pistons. I'm talking about the Celtics.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Celtics.
But you got to remember, LeBron beat the 73-win Warriors, and he beat a 5-championship Spurs. So you got to keep that into account.
Well, he beat an old Spurs team. You know,
they weren't that old when he beat them.
Yeah, you were, because Tim Duncan, at that point, he beat him in 2004. But LeBron should have, like, they made those comparisons, so now, like, just the fact that he's great, all of a sudden everything he does makes him better than Michael Jordan, and that just makes it worse for him.
Right.
You know, every time you turn on ESPN or Sports Center, it's like, oh, this is the first time a player ever done this in the championship, and everybody so
weird obscure stats.
Yeah, so they make up stats for him to kind of pump him up.
Right.
And that's pretty much because Michael Jordan, as a person, may not be as forthcoming as LeBron is. LeBron is more of a likable type of person. Michael Jordan is a crotchety old 50-year-old billionaire, and he doesn't care. He doesn't need ESPN for anything.
Right.
So he's not going to go ESPN. He'll do whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it. He's always been that way.
Besides, he has nothing to prove. He's at the point where the consensus is he's the greatest, so he doesn't have to do anything. He can just sit back. Now, every now and then, he'll try to take a jab, and
I've never heard him take a jab.
He takes a jab because he even tries to say Kobe's better. He tries to jab. He tries to say Kobe's better.
You don't know why.
He likes Kobe though
because Kobe kisses his ass.
Right. And he used to mentor Kobe a little bit too, but which I didn't know about until I read that like months ago. I was like, I didn't know he did that, but
yeah. Kobe's all over Michael Jordan.
Like, yeah. And so yeah, I mean, because his thing is, it goes back to championships again. He was like, last time this is what he said. He was like, last time I checked, 5 was more than 3. I'm like, yeah, but 3 of those was under when Shaq was the man of the team. So let's not. And by the way, we might as well talk about it. All right, Kobe is not better than LeBron James. Okay, Laker fans. I'm a fan of Kobe. He's not better than LeBron. He does not get to the playoffs without Phil Jackson. Maybe one time with Rudy T as his coach, and that was a 7th seed, and they blew a 3-1 lead, and that was when he didn't want to shoot in Game 7. So I was like, all right, y'all want to criticize LeBron? LeBron has his flaws.
Remember that.
LeBron, I'll never forget it because I couldn't believe it. I was all in on Kobe then, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like what? Like he was mad. Like him and Phil Jackson had an issue. And he just said, well, I ain't going to shoot that. Phil Jackson probably told him, like, pass the ball and be a teammate or whatever. He was like, all right, well, fuck, I ain't going to shoot nothing then. Like, that's what it looked like to me. And he just didn't shoot. So I'm like, yeah, LeBron should have bet against Dallas. I will be the first to tell you that. But Kobe, that doesn't excuse the fact that Kobe's Game 7 got swept under the rug. Like, and by the way, Game 7 in the finals against Boston, he didn't play well at all. Ron Artest bailed them out in Game 7 against Boston. So this narrative that LeBron isn't clutch, it not only is getting destroyed in this playoff alone, but it's like he's the best fourth quarter player of all time by the numbers. Now everybody don't go by numbers. No, by the numbers he is. By the numbers, numbers
don't tell everything.
It doesn't tell it. And I was gonna say the numbers ain't everything. And some people, like sometimes you gotta watch the game and see, what you see sometimes, is better. But by numbers, he is the best. Like he averages more points. He's hit more game winners than both Kobe and Jordan. He has a higher percentage in those games. And again, it's not everything. And I'm not saying he's more clutch than them. That's not what I'm saying.
This seems like more ESPN. ESPN, like the dude played for way more seasons. I'll give him more. I'll give him that more than Kobe because Kobe takes those game-winning shots, but he takes them and misses them. LeBron, most of the time, he doesn't take those shots. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's more of a distributor than both for Kobe and Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan takes those shots, he fucking make them. But like he's never down in a game 6. Like right. Like he had that game. He always had those games in hand so well that those games are over.
Those games, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like he really didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like he would just.
And that's totally fair.
And you know, say he didn't he didn't destroy guys, but he get a healthy lead, and
right?
Keep
Good
it.
enough lead,
And,
right.
and even when the other team took the lead, I've never seen a team before, even since, who remained the same, calm, cool, and collected.
Right.
When LeBron is down, I've never seen a guy who's more fidgety and who does more, who takes it up like a whole nother notch. Like when the game's on the line, he's like this. He takes the game up. He's physically more assertive.
Right.
He's physically more assertive than Michael Jordan and than I've ever seen anybody. Because like you can see with body language, he's trying to win that game. Michael Jordan's just like, oh, this game's ready.
Right. He's just right.
You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron's like, I'm gonna win this game. Jordan's like, the game's won. Even Kobe with his facial this shit.
That weird face thing he used to do.
Yeah, but that weird thing he used to do. Like it was good theater, but he depended on himself too much. I would give it to LeBron like 10 times out of 10 over Kobe.
Everything good in the mirror there?
Everything's good.
All right, so I think we talked about that enough. we went all over the place on that one, but
we talk about basketball, man. That's what it is.
We just go all day. All right, so we'll get real quick to this little bit of baseball stuff just to mix it up. Oh, by the way, we got some hockey coming up. We got some soccer. And we got some golf coming up right for y'all real soon. No, we no, we don't. But anyway, so the Mets screwed up the batting order, and only the Mets can do, like, no other team does these things. Only the Mets, like it's the Mets. Like, they started out like 11-1, and now they're like 18-17 or something like that. Yeah. And then on top of that, they're just like, they screw up the batting order. How does this happen, LJ? This is your team.
All right, they screwed up the batting order because they thought the rule was fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? They're like why am I giving them my batting order? I'll just put this guy
I'll just scribble anything here. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, I'll put Strawberry up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they gave it. The team's like, they got Strawberry.
They was looking for him, like. Yeah, it's just like, unfortunately we talked about all this already, but here we go again.
And we talked about this already because the camera turned off, and so now we're rediscussing things. So,
almost every week we have some kind of technical difficulty. Whether we're doing it through our respective homes or we're doing it right here next to each other. There's always some kind of technical difficulties.
Yeah, I bought one of these things and I can't even use it yet. Yeah.
Well, what things? A beach? You bought a beach? You bought a newsroom?
This podcast is paying, man. Before I was getting checked when you weren't. I wouldn't say shit. You get tired of like, no, let's keep it going.
I'm like, I don't think this is working out, man.
Let's keep it going.
Like, I'm having fun with this. But yeah, I listened to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on Sirius XM, man. And Sam Roberts was like what? Like, you write it down and you hand it into the umpire. Like, why don't you just print one out with the computer and email it to everybody, or just make copies? Like, don't you got a printer? Just make copies. Just make one and make copies. And he makes a valid point. And this is a guy who doesn't even watch baseball. It's just makes sense. Like, it's just common sense. Like,
it's common sense, but that would take baseball back into like the 20th century. And baseball doesn't want to do that. Baseball wants to. We want to write things
go backwards.
We want to go back in time.
like how further back could we go? Could we go before baseball was invented? Like they
put a stone.
Like they just don't embrace it. But it's funny because we talk about baseball in that way, but at the same time it's like football, basketball, they take so long with their replays. Like they're in this generation, but them replays sometimes be killing me, man. I'm like, yo, they need to.
And what's the catch?
Have a better system. Oh well, hopefully they fix that problem with the new
Yeah. I heard they fixed it, but now they posthumously said that Des Bryant, that was a catch.
Yeah, he's like, it was too late now.
He's not even playing for the same team anymore.
He might not play for any team anymore. I hear there's another Hard Knocks type of thing out. Amazon Prime has something like that where they go and inside the war room, not the war room, but the
draft room.
Not even the draft room. I'm just talking about like practice when they the film room.
Yeah,
and they were saying Des Bryant kept interrupting it, and he said something like one of the coaches had said something about something they need to do better, and Des Bryant was like, I don't like the way you said that. You make it sound like give us more credit, and then the assistant coach apologized. I'm like, yo, man, like yo, and whatever it wasn't one of those things where
he was just bashing them. He's just basically saying what they need to do better. He's like, give us more credit than that. He's like, I'm sorry, you're right. I'm like I'd be like, get out. I was like, this ain't about giving credit. We ain't here to give credit. We here to get better. This film room was to get better. This ain't about, you did a good job right there. Like, no, that's not what this is. We don't. Matter of fact, in this film room, we're not talking about anything you did good. We're supposed to be talking about everything you need to do better. So, get out of here. Like, no, thank you. Like he'll be lucky if he signed if another team signs. To be honest, like I just don't see it. Like who? Like Baltimore offered him and he turned down a contract from them. Like why you turn down how many teams is knocking on ring your calling your phone? Like you serious? Anyway,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how old he is. He's 29 at this point. He's going to be 30 this year. I don't know many guys who get dropped from teams. He'll get a contract. He should get like a 2-year deal somewhere. I like we spoke last week. I heard he wants to come to the Giants. I'm not really looking for him to play for us.
It's not a good fit.
I'm not sure if he'll be a good fit, especially for the locker room.
Right. That's where it's not a good fit.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, our number 2 will be Brandon Marshall, and he's a kiss of death for any team. Any team he joins doesn't make the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Any team he joins doesn't make the playoffs. So now
he's another player that probably won't get signed anymore.
No, he visits Seattle. He said
that's a good fit.
He said he was going to retire.
Seattle likes those type of guys.
So Seattle's not going to make the playoffs. I guess
they're not.
Yeah, they're not because
they might be last in that division. Well, not behind Arizona. They'll be third. They might be third in that division.
I think they might be third or something like that in that division, but Arizona does have a rookie quarterback.
Right.
So
they may be better than Arizona. But I'm not so sure they'll be better than San Francisco this year. Like
they're not gonna be better than San Francisco or
you know they're not gonna be better than the Rams. You know that. But
with your guy, your quarterback Garoppolo,
Jimmy G.
Yeah, Garoppolo. Everybody's prepared for him now.
Yeah, I mean he's not gonna look as. And to be honest, we won 5 games, but he threw 5 interceptions and 7 touchdowns. It's not like he was lighting it up. We won 5 games. You know what I mean? He was good, and he definitely changes the mood of the locker room. But yeah, and we're still rebuilding. We're not nowhere near. We're not where we want to be. We got to get better on defense. I think they've been working more on, like they worked on some defense last year, but the linebacker is setting us back.
Which one?
The guy we drafted from Alabama. I can't think of his name right now, but he's kept getting arrested. And
you just drafted him?
Yeah, we just drafted him. He's a rookie. Well, it's his second year. Coming up this year is his second year, and he got domestic. He got like felony charges.
Yeah,
like 3 felonies.
I saw about that.
Charges. I'm like, jeez.
I don't know what that guy's doing,
but I don't know. I don't know. Either way. So they may have to fill that position. He's really good, but they're gonna have to fill that position because I think they're gonna end up having to cut him. But another thing about baseball before we get too far, we already got way too far away from it. But I just wanted to bring up the Ichiro call. He was telling his teammate or somebody. He was like, "Yeah, I just got a text from somebody named Tom Brady. Who the fuck is Tom Brady?" Like, how do you not know who Tom Brady is?
He's been in this country for 20 years. He's played in major league sports. He's watched television. He's played a sport. He's an elite. He's a Hall of Famer. So he knows who Tom Brady is. Yeah. Ichiro is a practical joker. Actually, heard a story about him with Ohtani. Ohtani's the pitcher / hitter from L.A. Ohtani grew up loving Ichiro. And they were out working out, warming up on the field. And Ohtani saw Ichiro. He ran towards him. Ichiro had his back to Ohtani. But, the players saw Ohtani running towards him. He told Ichiro. And when Ohtani almost got to Ichiro, he ran full speed the other direction. So it made it seem like Ohtani was chasing him around the field. So that's the type of play. That's the type of practical joker he is. So I don't believe that he doesn't know who Tom Brady is.
Yeah, it's hard to not know. I mean, even like I said before, unless he goes straight back to Japan after baseball, and he's lived in Japan in the off season, because I don't know how much they know about football in Japan. But I don't know. Either way, you're probably right. He probably was just making a joke, because it's hard. How do you not know Tom Brady? Like, how are you in this country and not know who Tom Brady is? Just
I'll play devil's advocate. Okay, say that I get drafted to like the Japanese baseball team or something like that, or I play Chinese basketball. And I'm like Stephon Marbury. They're making goddamn statues out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do I give a shit about what's going on in the country? Well, do I give a shit about any other athlete? Do I care?
You're probably just keeping track of what's going on in your own country. You're probably going online and like, what's going on in my neck of the woods.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like the best Japanese soccer player ever. I'm not into soccer. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't like. How even in that country for 20 years, would I care at any point? I wouldn't care.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
This is me playing devil's advocate,
right? But you make a great point. Like I wouldn't care. Like I probably wouldn't even be watching. Like if I was over there, like I wouldn't watch their sports.
I wouldn't care, but I wouldn't watch their television.
I'd be trying to keep up with the NBA, NFL. If I'm over there, I wouldn't care. Like I pay attention to my league. I pay attention to the league that I'm in. But besides that, I wouldn't be. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't pay attention. You're right. All right, so I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe we shouldn't be thinking like, why doesn't he know? I'm just checking anyway.
You're good.
I know. I just want to check anyway. I don't trust this shit. Okay, that's still cool. All right.
Now, we're going to stay in football. We're talking about Matt Patricia.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Patricia, I like how you laugh when you said that. Matt Patricia, he actually had a court case 22 years ago, 1996, for sexual assault or something like that, but it was dismissed. Now, this case just came up in the news now, and I have no idea why it came up. It just came up out of the blue. So somebody somewhere doesn't like him.
Yeah.
And it just came out. It came out of nowhere.
Well, what I read.
A little closer.
What I read was
All right, we're good.
what I read was they had a chance to like they told the person, because they said something about she wasn't emotionally ready to deal with it or something like that, and they told her she could refile later on. So I guess she chose now for whatever reason.
She's refiling?
Yeah, they gave her the option to refile back when in '96 or whenever it was. They told her then that she could refile. So
that's just giving somebody ammo to use against you anytime they want.
Yeah,
even if the case is dismissed.
I don't know if it was officially dismissed to that, like a traditional dismissal. I don't think it was like that. I think it was a little more complicated than that from what I was reading. But I mean, now granted, if he did that, you know, whatever. I don't feel sorry for you.
That's the thing. It's not at that point. It's not criminal because you're going beyond the statute of limitations. You can't just say, "Hey, it's a crime," but I'm not going to say anything now. I just want. I just want this in my pocket just in case I feel like I want to say it later. Yes. You know, like when it's a criminal offense, like a person can either file charges or they can't. They can't just be like, okay, I may file charges later. This has civil written all over it. Right. This has like, oh, he got a new contract, huh? I want a piece of that because of what he did to me in 1996. Right. Yeah. You know, that's what it seems to me.
And the Detroit Lions are standing behind him at the moment. They're just like, I mean, I'm gonna say standing behind him, but they're not. You know, they're not.
They didn't know anything about this.
Right? They're gonna wait and see. They just hired the guy, so it's like,
so now it's like, all right, they just hired this guy. Now it's going to be over his head, and who knows how far it's going to go?
Right.
Maybe it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be the biggest thing where they're going to be protesting outside outside, and they go, "Oh, you hired this guy, you didn't look into his past," and so that's going to make it even worse for him and worse for the organization. It'll make them look bad, and all depends on how this ends. He, if they end up with a 8-8 season,
then they're gonna goodbye.
he's gone
right
back to New England
or wherever
or wherever Bill Belichick is at the time, because this is Bill Belichick's last season in New England.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised.
If Bill Belichick leaves New England, we fire. I don't care if we go 15-1, fire Pat Shurmur.
Stick with football. So Kurt Warner tried to make a comeback. Like, yeah, man. Like when I first heard it, I thought he was like just messing around. But then he was like, no. He's like, I talked to a team about coming back. Mind you, he's 47. The last time he played was 2009, and he's like he said he talked to a team about coming back, and they ended up signing someone else. I'm like, yeah, no shit. But he said they ended up signing somebody else, so he just let it die right there. I'm like, dude, really? Like, at 40, I can see if you were constantly playing.
If Kurt Warner came back at 47, you know Brett Favre's gonna come back at 52.
if somebody signs him, just don't do it. Like, don't.
If somebody signs him, I really hope something like bad happens. I just want it to be a lesson to him.
Like, you just want to see something.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how with Joe Dyson with his bone pulled through his skin?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brett Favre going to show his 50-year-old ass on the field, then, you know, like, things should happen to you that would dissuade any other person from doing this again.
Right. Now, and yeah, like, cause they always talk about, and I'm sure they can all still throw the ball. I'm sure they can make the throws. I'm not questioning making the throws. Can you take those hits? Can you come to practice every day and deal with practicing constant? Like, those are the things that people retire from. It's not even the like we all know. I think Joe Montana can still throw it. Like, I bet you all of these guys can still throw the ball efficiently.
I guarantee you, Dan Marino can still throw a tight spot.
Yeah. If there was no pass rush and you were just a steady quarterback, I bet you they all can do it.
They'll put you at 60.
Exactly, but that's not how it works. So, like, no, don't even think about coming back.
I'll give you a question.
After being out of the game.
I'll give you a question. Now, if there was no pass rush, and Joe Montana said, I want to play for San Francisco.
Yo, sign him right now. Well, we don't need him now, but before we sign Jimmy G, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, go for it.
How about Jerry Rice? Jerry Rice can still catch the ball. He ain't bearing nobody.
No, I don't want to receive at no.
His last season was terrible.
Yeah, he was bad. He was done. So,
and he had those cornrows with his hairline back there.
He was like the most conditioned athlete. So if he couldn't do it at the age he was at, forget about it. I thought T.O. could have played another year.
T.O. still wants to play because he's broke.
He's done now. Well, but I think he could have played at least another year.
He wasn't burning. He got chances in Buffalo and Cincinnati. He wasn't he wasn't burning anybody. You know what I'm saying? He was just in shape. Now, just because you're in shape and you're muscular doesn't mean you're a good football player anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't getting any separation. He wasn't coming down with the passes like he used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't the way he was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He would take lots of fucking plays off. Lots of them. Yeah. Because he's not a young guy anymore. Right. It just happens. It's life.
It's
life. You know what I'm saying?
Father Time is undefeated.
Peyton Manning, it doesn't matter what he does. Peyton Manning, that ball's come out so wobbly with Peyton Manning that last season. Doesn't matter if anybody's come. He just retired a couple seasons ago. I wouldn't take him.
No, he's done. Like, I wouldn't bet on him being able to make the throws. With the shoulder, the neck, and all that shit that he had going on. Like, no, he's done.
Well, if he got human growth hormone,
well, that's different. Give him his Barry Bonds special.
It was my wife. It was my wife. It was her stuff.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It was my wife. It was hers. It was like my dumb kicker. What was
that kicker's name? Mike Vanderjack?
He gets all liquored up and starts talking all this.
I forgot about those allegations right before he retired. I forgot all about that. But yeah, I'd have been okay with it if if he's just trying to get healthy and then whatever. But well, who knows how long? I don't know. And that story died. Like they love Peyton Manning so much, that story never gained enough traction. Not the traction I think it should have. But hey,
there's a lot of there's another Peyton Manning story that came up right after he retired when he had that sexual assault
back when he was in Tennessee, right?
Yeah. But to be honest with you, it was a prank that went wrong. Like he didn't touch anybody. He just pulled his pants down and showed his ass.
That's all that was?
Yes. Like he was young, and a lot of the players tried to you try to fuck with somebody. He's like, what you gotta do? You gotta do this. So he went to this woman, an older woman, who worked there, who worked somewhere. I guess he mooned her or something like that, and she said it was sexual assault.
Wow.
That's not sexual assault. Somebody showed your ass. So fucking what?
Wow, that's a non-story.
Yeah, but people were blowing it up so bad because that
you just want to have some blemish on Peyton Manning
because of that Me Too movement. So it's just like, oh, he's a sexual predator. Like, no, he's not. It was nothing. Showing your ass is not being sexual.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's good. All right, so I think the last story we got is the Paul George. Where should he go, and where do you want him to go?
Paul George should be in Philly. I think he wants to go to L.A. He's an L.A. guy. He's a California guy, actually. San Diego, wherever the fuck he's from.
He's somewhere in California.
He's somewhere in California. He wants to play for L.A. I think it's a dumb move. They have a small forward just like him. Who's gonna play? Is gonna wind up playing just like him with Ingram. I think that Philly should definitely take a big look at him. The Knicks should take a look at him too. I'm not in love with those legs of his that cracked in half, but Philly, they're on the cusp. You get guys like him who can be your leader. Then you don't think so?
Leader, I think he can be a leader. He could be. He's a guy. He's got experience. He's a really good player.
And he can be a locker room leader. You think so?
And I agree with you in the fact that I wouldn't go as far as calling him a leader. I think he's a really good player, and I think he'll lead by example. Because he's a really good player. He plays defense. He plays hard. But
I'm saying, he plays right. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he can just be the best player like Carmelo Anthony was for the Knicks. He can be. I think he can. I'm not sure what his leadership skills are, but he has that type of. He has a resume where he can be with a bunch of young guys, and can possibly make the team better from the inside. You know what I'm saying? If you get a role where you're teaching the young guys, where you're playing defense or you're playing offense, and you bailing these guys out. And yeah, I think he can do that in a leadership role like that. I think he can step into it. I'm not sure what type of personality he has. I've never really heard the dude talk. So
yeah, man.
Plus he likes horse. So.
Yeah, man. I just never looked at him as being a leader. I look at him as always being a good player. I always liked him, and I still like him. But I think Ben Simmons is the leader. I think Ben Simmons has more leadership skills than even he does. I just think Ben Simmons is that guy. He just brings everybody together. You know what I mean? He just has that
are you saying that because he's the point guard, or are you saying that because
I'm saying that because the way he carries himself and the way they rally around him, like that, he's the man on that team. He like sometimes you can just see it. So, like you don't even have to hear or know. Like if you just watch him play, you see he's the guy. He's the one that they rally around. So, like Paul George, he was never a guy that they rallied around. He was their best player, and and by example, like I said, he can score. He plays defense. He does those things. I never looked at Philly as a team that rallied around. Indiana as a team that rallied around him. Or
I think so. Remember when they played when they were playing Cleveland, or was it Miami? No, Miami. When they were playing Miami with Paul George and they played against us.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that they rallied around them. The one thing LeBron should have never done is when Paul George dumped the shit out of Chris Anderson, just dumped all over him, and then LeBron's like, "Ooh, oh my god!" then LeBron went up and gave him a handshake. That's your teammate. He did that over. That's in the playoffs. That's your
I
teammate.
didn't know he did that.
Yeah, so I thought that was wrong, but that's like Paul George's fault. That's LeBron.
Right.
I was like, okay, it was a great dunk. Just shut up.
That's funny. I didn't know about that. But yeah, like I think Philly would be a perfect fit for him. To answer the question, I think he'd be a perfect fit, and I think Lakers is an okay fit. But like you said, they got Ingram. Even though I'm not 100% sold on Ingram yet, he definitely got better this year. I'm still not sold on him.
You have to give him time. Plus, he has to fill in. You know, he's like 6'10", 190 pounds.
Yeah, he is disgustingly skinny. Like
so like to be honest,
he's like ew.
To be perfectly honest, I don't see what's so great about him. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but somebody did.
and I've seen a couple of good games he had. I'm not like I've seen what people see. I'm just not sold that he can do it consistently yet. I think
Kuzma's better than him.
Right now Kuzma is better than him.
And Kuzma plays the same position, so.
Well, they're both shooting guards. Yeah, they are both shooting guards.
No, that's
Ingram's small. Okay, Ingram's small. They're both small forwards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Kuzma right now is ahead of him in terms of development, but I mean, and Kuzma was he a late first round? Or was he a second round pick?
I think it might have been
mid first round,
something like that.
But yeah, I mean, and Kuzma, I like Kuzma, but yeah, I think Paul George would be better fit going to Philly.
So yeah, as far as Paul George, I guess we both agree that Philly would be the best spot for him. But that'll basically wrap it up today. I mean,
is there a trivia question you wanted to ask?
Oh, that's right, the trivia questions. Yeah. You didn't read them, did you? So now I didn't put the answers anyway. But I hope you didn't go over your phone and look them up while I was. No. All right. So what team has the fourth most championships of all time in NBA?
Let me see.
It could be a little surprise. I mean, I could say surprised, but I was a little surprised.
Okay, you got Boston and the Lakers, number 1 and number 2. With 13, 12, you got Chicago with 6. Milwaukee, or no, that's not Philly either. It's not New York. You only have 2. Golden State.
Wrong.
Fuck.
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds.
Oh, San Antonio.
There you go. When I was like, oh damn! I was like, they're number 4.
They have 5.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I drew a blank on Chicago because I was like, well, who's third? So until you said Chicago, I was trying to think who's. All right. Next question is, who's the first NBA player to be drafted number 1 without playing high school basketball or college basketball in the United States?
Number 1, Yao.
There it is, Yao Ming. I would have had to think about that.
You said United States, I said okay, yeah. He's the first international player pick number 1.
All right, so you did pretty good today. I mean, you stumbled a little bit on the first one, but the second one you got just like that. So
I know what I'm fucking talking about.
All right, I guess you do. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up. Email us comments and questions or whatever at lemarandlj@gmail.com. That's LemarandLJ@gmail.com. You can check us out however you want to check us out, through YouTube or through podcast.
Podcast Addict. We're not iTunes. We're not on Spotify because they want more money, and they're not going to give shit.
No, SoundCloud.
Oh, SoundCloud. SoundCloud wants more money, and we're not going to give it.
Well,
to
SoundCloud is basically kind of what we already do on another website,
right?
So that's why. But so you can catch us on all of the major ones: Castbox, Podcast Addict, iTunes, Google Play, all of that. And you can check out the YouTube channel. Look up Lemar and LJ when you're on the YouTube channel, and it should come up as what the hell are you talking about. So it's not gonna come up as Lemar and LJ, But you got to look up Lemar LJ for it to come up.
Yes, that's
a little
issue.
confusing and annoying.
That's
we're
an
working
issue
on.
that I'm trying to work on. Even with my cousin just told me about that, so I was like, oh god.
Yeah. So look up Lemar and LJ if you want to watch it on YouTube and see and match the faces with the voices. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Next week we're gonna have a really big episode.
Yeah.
Special guest.
Okay.
And we're gonna we're just gonna.
Who we got?
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a surprise.
All right. Whew, I can't wait
Next week.
Because we need it. We ain't had no guests yet. I can't wait to see who this is, yo. Y'all better stay tuned.
Stay fucking tuned.
Thanks.